What's up, everybody? So, a lot of you guys on my YouTube lives have been asking me who I think is the best legend in Season 22 of Apex Legends, and I'm going to rank all the legends right now, super simple, and give you my basic thoughts on every single one. I probably won't go too in-depth, but I'll give you a good idea of why I put them there. When I did this list, I did have E-District in mind, and I don't have pubs or comp in mind. It is purely ranked on E-District. So let's get right into it, guys. We'll start with the Recon class, which got a bit of a buff with another added passive called Threat Vision. Starting off first, we have Bloodhound, which has fallen off a tad with this new Threat Vision passive, now that everyone gets the ability to see enemies highlighted in red. Although this can be a bummer for blood mains, rest assured, he still gives pretty solid information and is a great starter legend. We'll put him at C. Next is Crypto, who got a really cool new perk called Off the Grid, which allows you to go invisible while you're in drone, which is pretty cool. This may seem powerful and annoying, but once you break the drone or get hit by any damage, you're revealed to the enemy. I've personally seen this ability as super underwhelming, but it is a nice addition to his kit and makes him a very desirable choice. We're gonna put him at B. Seer is always a tricky legend to rate. On one hand, he's absolutely amazing at finding rats and sniffing out where people are. And on the other, he's not that useful now that everyone has little HP bars above their head, which was one of his redeeming features. The ult is still pretty good, but can be waited out, which is why I have this legend in D. Next is a legend who actually got some really good buffs, Vantage. One annoying thing about using Vantage was not having direct line of sight for Echo to utilize her tactical. In Season 22, her tactical will slide around boxes and geometry as best as it can to reach Echo. Her passive spotter lens will track enemies for 10 seconds on ping. The recon information she gives is now on all optics. Using an ult excel with her ult excel perk halves the time to use an ult excel, and the absolute best part is her ultimate does 2.5 damage on the second shot, which means you could 2-tap any blue shield and almost 2-tap any purple shield, which is laughably insane. Top it off with the ability to not only scan survey beacons and ring consoles, she's very, very strong and a dangerous legend in the right hands. She falls off a little bit in the end game, but that's not enough to stop her from going right into A. Moving on to support legends, Gibraltar is a fan favorite, but he lacks a little bit in Season 22. I contemplated putting him a little higher up because shotguns are super insane at the moment, but power creep has caught up to old Gibby, and especially since his arm shield is a hop up now alongside a massive hitbox, I'm going to have to put Gibster in the D tier. Lifeline has fallen right into the meta with how the game has changed and evolved to a much faster pace. With little time to reset in a vast majority of scenarios, Lifeline is the perfect legend to combat the ape everything meta. Her perk, Gold Plated, also gives you a free gold knockdown, which is a cheat code at fast and useful resets, all at the click of a button. Nothing's more frustrating and tantalizing than going up against a Lifeline in any fight, which is why she's our first S tier legend. Mirage is a super fun legend to play, and I won't waste your time here. He's very solo oriented and doesn't bring much into the fight unless you are hoping for the enemy to not see you go invisible and revive your fallen teammates. D tier. I am so sorry, Mirage lovers. One thing I always say about Loba is I'm never going to be mad at any of my teammates picking Loba. Getting access to your comfort gun, optics, heals, ammo at most parts of the game is really convenient and strong. She also has solid movement getting to and from, which is also very strong. I'm putting her at B tier, and plus, she's probably one of the best solo queue legends. Newcastle can be a very good legend, and his kit makes him very team-friendly. My problem with him, however, is I feel that other legends do what he does a tad better, all while not having a massive hitbox. His tactical is the best part of his kit, which can be great at stalling or rotating, but not enough to get him higher up, and I've put him in C. Not because he's a bad legend, just because others are better. Conduit has been tuned down a tad from when she was released, but she's still really easy to use and can turn the fight at the click of a button. Literally. Her ultimate is also really good at gating off teams and or stalling, so while she has been tuned down from her SSS tier power, she's still a pretty comfy pick at any level or any rank, so we're gonna put her at B tier. Controllers get a pretty good buff as well, allowing them to gain an extra shield cell of health anytime they're inside the ring, which is really good with proper RNG early game. on top of being able to pick up their pylons, walls, and traps from afar with the click of a button. Caustic is a really solid choice if you're trying to bunker down till endgame. He's really hard to push, and his ultimate can be a massive deterrent for the enemy teams. That's all this chunky boy is really good at, though, so we're gonna put him C. Next is a legend who got some love in Season 22, Watson. Watson now has a perk called Power Pylon, which can regenerate the shield charge of your gen, which can, in theory, give you infinite heals, and another perk called Emergency Power, which can charge your shield almost as fast as a Conduit Tactical. This can be insane for quick resets and getting back into the fight immediately, and these abilities alone push her up to A. Rampart also got a little love in Season 22, which allows her ultimate to charge similarly to Vantage's. She'll almost instantly get her ultimate, which is terrifying to think about at White Evo, and her shields can be quite a pain to work around at all phases of the game. She's really useful in the right hands, and she belongs right in the B tier. Catalyst is similar to Caustic in the sense that she's really good at holding it down, but benefits from having a really good rotational ultimate. While she does nothing wrong, she's just simply outclassed currently by a ton of legends and how the meta is being played. I put her at C tier. On to Assault Legends, and one of the best legends in the game, Bangalore. Do we even have to explain why she's so annoyingly good? Not only does she turn into Octane when you shoot one bullet at her, she's incredible at creating space with her smoke, and her ultimate is a massive deterrent for quick resets or getting people off the top of your building. I'd argue she's quite possibly the strongest legend in all of Apex right now, simply because she can control the entire state of the game with just her tactical and leave you blind as to what's going on. She is 100% going in S tier. Another powerful legend who's pushed his way into the meta is Fuse. One of the reasons Rampart isn't higher on this list is this annoying dude. The ability to create space and also be aggressive with his knuckle clusters is one of the main reasons you see him a lot at the higher tiers of ranked. They did, however, fix one of his most broken assets, which was to use his ultimate on the evac tower, which essentially gave him a massive seer ultimate. So we're going to put him comfortably at A. No matter how many times they add to Ashe, it never feels like she gets any better. Her passive is very underwhelming, her snares are still pretty slow and easy to avoid, and her ultimate is lackluster. So many legends just do it better, guys. D. Maggie is a good example of a really good legend that's not too good. Her drills can be insanely annoying to go up against, and her ball is a great way to be aggressive with Akimbo Mozams being meta at the moment. She can basically shoot them forever with their perk Shots, which auto-reload shotguns on Nox. She's a fun time. We're gonna put her at B. Ballistic can be one of the best 1v1 legends in all of Apex Legends, with his Whistler overheating the enemy's gun when they shoot too long. Unfortunately for Ballistic, this is a team game, and often the Whistler connecting doesn't warrant the effort needed to connect. His kit isn't nearly as essential as every other legend on this list. We're putting him in the D tier. Pathfinder is back on top and is one of the best aggressive legends in all of Apex. Not only is he aggressive, he's also a really good rotation piece for the rest of his team with his perk Zipline Zen, reducing all damage taken on his ziplines by 25%. This makes it really hard to kill anyone on the zipline and can be really annoying that you essentially can't stop a Pathfinder team from getting to where they want to go. If you get cracked from medium range and you're alone, assume it's over because Pathy's coming. We're putting him at the S tier simply because he's the best and most accessible rotational piece in Apex currently. Wraith doesn't really feel like she has a solid place in the meta. While she can alert you when people are in the area or aiming at you, she also has a tactical, which is pretty selfish, and an ultimate that takes a bit to set up. She's simply just outclassed at the moment, so she's being put in C. Octane is in a very similar state, but somewhat worse. Portals and ziplines are just way better than a jump pad, and that's all really Octane brings to the game, unless you plan on mowing down the lobby yourself with his stim. D tier. Revenant. What's fair and balanced about a red Evo Revenant flying at you with 75 extra shield with double Akimbo Mozams? Absolutely nothing. With that being said, S tier. Please nerf this guy. Horizon has and probably will always be good based on her ability to utilize verticality no matter the cooldowns, but she's not nearly where she once was. The higher you climb, the more you're gonna realize, hey, this tactical gets me beamed 99% of the time, no matter what situation I use it in. She's a very good noob beater and will get you through a majority of your rank days, which is why I put her in the A tier. Valkyrie is such a tricky legend because I feel it's very dependent on what map she's on. Some walls on certain maps are higher than others, and some are easier to rotate than others. Since I had District in mind when making this tier list, she's actually quite useful at making powerful rotations and grabbing good positional advantages. Her tactical is mid, and her jetpacks are nowhere near where they used to be. B tier, but could be lower on any other map. Lastly, we have the most recent legend, Alter. And while we all thought she was going to be really powerful, I think she's severely underwhelming and gimmicky. Her tactical is very, very situational, and her ultimate relies on you putting yourself in a bad situation. Don't get me wrong, she's really fun to play. She's just not quite up to par on the other legends above her. C tier. There you have it, guys. Once again, this is just my opinion. This is how I would rank the legends. I definitely could see someone like Newcastle moving up to B, Valkyrie moving down to C, and you could probably flip-flop a couple legends here and there. But this is what I think for E-District. These are the best legends, and this is what I would recommend in Season 22 of Apex Legends. Let me know down below what your thoughts are, and where would you put some of these legends. Take care, guys. Much love, and I'll see you next time.